The amount of jobs that we thought we added to the US economy between March of 2024 to March of 2025 has just been revised downwards by 911,000 jobs. Whoopsies! The sectors of the US economy that saw the biggest downwards revisions were hospitality, professional and business services, as well as retail and trade. However, there were small gains throughout utilities, warehousing, and transportation. So this is going to put even more pressure on the Fed to cut rates. And the Fed CME is already predicting a 91% chance, essentially, of there being rate cuts of 25 basis points and a 10% chance, 9% chance of us having a 50 basis point rate cut. That still hasn't been adjusted given this recent revision we've had. So it'll be very interesting to see just how big of a cut on September 17th the Fed will have to do. Now, you might think a bigger rate cut means the market will pump more and more. Probably not, because if the Fed comes out with a 50 basis point rate cut instead of a 25 basis point rate cut, that could signal to the markets that the Fed thinks they've lost control of this thing and that we should expect really bad numbers for unemployment moving forward. You could see a much bigger sell-off in markets around the time of rate cuts than would be a normal buy the rumor, sell the news event. You could see a much bigger shakeout in markets if the Fed come out with a 50 basis point cut. However, on the bright side, after a correction, if we're looking at a 50 basis point cut or at least a series of multiple rate cuts moving forward, that is a sign that global liquidity is about to really skyrocket to the upside, which creates much better environments for risk on assets and also just risk, like pretty much all assets do much better in that environment. So after a big correction, that would be a hell of an opportunity to buy back in, build up some positions, and send things to the moon. So be aware of that, be careful, mitigate your risks, and that is the macro update for the day. Have a good day, do good things, be good people, make a bunch of money.